We have had our grant window open this year since January 15th. The grant period will run from January 15th. Gail, do you want to sign shoes? From January 15th through March 15th. I would not be surprised if we extended through March 31st this year.
That's good information.
Yeah, because we're always looking to make life easier. So we shifted things earlier this year because in the past, March has been kind of a nightmare in Scituate, like weather-wise. The schools in particular lose a lot of their like collaborative planning time because of snow days and things. So we decided to bump things up a little bit and make the window longer. I think though that a lot of people still haven't heard that we opened it so much earlier. So we're probably going to go back to the March 31st cutoff date. But the application is available right now, which ordinarily in the past this time of year it has not been, but it's on our website. So in any case, I will just quickly explain to you what we can get out of this meeting and then we'll dive right into it. Our application timeline, as I said, the application itself is available this year, January 15th. The website states March 15th, but you should expect it to close really March 31st. We then take all of the applications that we receive, which in the past 3 years, so this is our 4th grant season that SEF has been active. In the past, the number of applications we've gotten has ranged from 28 to 47, which is actually a really big range in terms of the amount of time it will take us to process all of them. But we generally find that we're able to do all of our research and community discussions with either nonprofit leaders or the school administration through the month of April. And then in the month of May, the SEF group who votes on grants holds a series of meetings where we discuss everything and make our funding decisions. We say that we'll notify grant applicants by June 1st. We usually manage to do it a little bit earlier. We know people are waiting eagerly to find out, if you're able to fund your programs. And then we promise to get money to our grant recipients by July 1st. For SPS, that coincides with the start of the fiscal year, so you can assume everything would be available for the upcoming school year. And for SPS, all of that money goes through the central office. Is anybody, I don't know if yours, anybody else from the schools? Cindy Seesaw is our contact there. So everything for SPS goes through the business office. If you're with a nonprofit, we literally mail you a check. The application itself is fully online. It is a document that does not allow you to save your work. And that's why if you go to our website, you'll find a PDF version of the application. And we recommend that you use that as a working document as you're pulling together your ideas. And then once you have everything completed, you can copy and paste into the application itself in one sitting. Okay. The content of that application, which again, the questions are exactly what's on this paper copy. It's, biographical information for your organization, who's your contact, what's the organization's name. We don't, for the nonprofit organizations, we don't require you to submit any evidence of your 501c3 status, but we assume it's available if we should ask for it. The questions on the application after the more biographical pieces are questions that we believe lets us get some insight into how your proposal matches up with SEF's stated goals. So the things that are important to SEF include lifelong learning, innovative learning projects, seed type projects, things that aren't already happening in the community. And the questions that are asked in the application are designed to kind of tease out how your proposal will fit into those. So the grant committee originally consisted of a couple teachers, and teachers love rubrics. So we have, right?
We used to. I don't know if we love them.
Right, well, they're an everyday part of life. So in any case, actually I tell my kids whenever they come home with a rubric for a school assignment, I'm like, that rubric is a gift from your teacher to you, saying exactly what you have to do. So the SEF application does have a corresponding rubric to which, if you're not familiar with assessment rubrics, it basically outlines, it connects each of the criteria in the application to a score. The thing that I think is most important to notice about the rubric and how it connects to the application is that on the second page of that rubric are 2 questions. One of them is about the vision, which is that question that I mentioned, those 4 criteria that we're always looking for, and that snapshot piece. Those 2 questions are actually weighted double in our evaluation. In other words, we kind of trust that everybody is going to have a clear learning outcome for what your proposal is. But these 2 questions are the ones that really give us a sense of the impact that your application would have in the community. The 2 other scoring pieces that aren't part of that rubric, one, we give a +1 to this question. We say, does the proposal serve a portion of the community that SEF has had limited opportunity to support before? And we put that in because we want to encourage organizations that don't yet have, or educators from wherever you're coming, who don't yet have a relationship with SEF to bring us your ideas and let us start to build those partnerships. We believe it doesn't disadvantage people who are repeat applicants because they already know the process, so their applications are generally coming in very strongly anyway. So, but we do want to give that sort of extra little push to people who are new to us. The other thing that is not captured on the rubric is we do weight a question. We call it an impact ratio, and it's just a simple calculation that we do where we look at the number of people in the community who will be impacted by your proposal, and we divide it by the number of dollars that you've requested. And it kind of gives us an idea of how far does every dollar reach. I will say that's a question that I feel like applicants can take in a lot of different directions.
Right.
You know, like how many people will use the thing that we're paying for this year or forever. So it's not a very heavily weighted question, and we sometimes look at it with a little bit of a grain of salt. But it is also a question that if somebody's got a really small dollar value grant that's going to be able to reach a lot of people, a great example is the chessboard that's at the front table here. So that was paid for by a grant in SEF's first year. And it was so easy because like, thousands of people come to the library every single year, and the chessboard costs $500. The last bullet there is the qualitative review. And those are the things that we just discuss in those meetings that I mentioned that SEF will have in May. And they're things like, you know, do we have a history with this organization? Is it a positive history? Have they received grants before? Do we feel like those grants, the proposals they did, were they successful? We always say, like, the question we really ask, and it always comes up, and that it's just probably the biggest talking point throughout our meetings is it something that we'd be excited to fund? Would you be excited to attend this event? Would you be excited if it happened in your kid's school? Will it make people who hear that SEF was involved in bringing this to the community want to support SEF? Because of course, we think of this as a continuous loop process where we raise some money, we give it to some great organizations and some great educators, and people see that, and then they give us more money so that next year we can give more money back.